My name is Courtney and I'm a witch, and on today's episode of the Witch Diaries we're going to talk about Friday the 13th. So what is it? What is the symbolism of the number 13? How did this day become associated with bad luck? So Friday in general is associated with the Norse goddess Freya. She is a goddess of love, beauty, fertility. She's associated with gold and with really nice material possessions. She's also the goddess of war and death, and this makes her really unique because usually a goddess is associated with either love and beauty and healing and that type of stuff, or they're associated with like war and death and the darker goddess energies. With her though, she's actually both, so that makes her very unique in and of itself. She's also the archetype of this form of Norse magic that was practiced before Christianity. That's a combination of magic and shamanism, and it's called Cedar. And within this practice, they focus on finding out a person's destiny, and then they go back and they alter the course of things to change that outcome, I guess, unless they like what they see. But to me it sounds very similar to mysticism, which does very much the same thing, of sort of almost going back in time and changing things there so that you can change the future. So Freya's husband is Odin. The foremother of Freya and Frigg was Frigga, and so this is where even the origins of the name Friday come from. It comes from them. Oftentimes Freya and Frigg are sometimes they're seen as the same goddess, sometimes they're written about as being separate ones. And so Freya rules over an afterlife that is called, okay, I hope I get this right, Folkban. And so half of the people that die in battle go to her place that she rules over. The other half actually go to her husband Odin's afterlife, which is called Valhalla, and they're led there by the Valkyries. And in our current media, we definitely see a lot of Valhalla, we see a lot of the Valkyries, and all of that folklore, so you're probably familiar with those places through that. And in regards to the number 13, so some cultures that saw 13 as being really important included the Aztecs, who they had a 20-month calendar that revolved around 13-day cycles. And within Celtic cultures, they followed the rhythm of the moon in terms of their calendar, so they actually had 13 months. And to them, the number 13 and having 13 months represented balance and harmony. So there's a lot of there's a lot of already energy combined with Freya and the goddess, and then the number 13. And some of the other facts about 13, a perfect witch's coven had 13 members. 13 is the lucky number of the goddess. There's 13 moons in a year, which means women will also have 13 menstruations throughout the year. 13 is also the number of blood, fertility, and moon magic, which makes sense in the context of the last two things. And so then 13 started to become unlucky around the time of Christianity, when so many pagans, witches, other magical practitioners were forced to convert to Christianity. And that seems to be the beginning of it being seen as a day of bad luck instead of a really positive, powerful, magical day, a really powerful feminine day. So it went from that to where it's at now. And I found this story which I thought was really interesting. So, there within the Bible there were 13 people at the Last Supper, There's, and that story has so many similarities to this Old Norse mythology, which is also about 13 people at a dinner party. And if you're probably aware that there's definitely people who say things like, Mother Mary and baby Jesus, and especially all the images of them together are actually just drawn from goddess Isis with her son Horus, so the ancient Egyptian goddess. In terms of our society, all of our holidays are actually pagan witch holidays that were taken within Christianity, and they say they're theirs, but they're really based on our stuff. So the story is really interesting in regards to the number 13 and the Last Supper. So at this dinner party, there were 12 gods who were in Valhalla having dinner, and an uninvited guest showed up, which made him number 13. And this was Loki, who is the trickster god. He is able to change his shape and his sex. And so Loki comes in and starts causing chaos. So at this party, he convinces Hodor, who is the blind god of darkness, to shoot at Balder, who is the beautiful god of joy. So Odin had loved Balder, this god of joy, so much that he made everyone promise never to hurt him. But Loki dipped one of Odin's arrows in mistletoe and convinced him to shoot it at Balder. And after this happened, Balder died, and the earth turned black. And at that point, 13 was considered an unlucky number. So it's interesting to see that, the dinner party, the 13th person, and then a death, and then you have the Last Supper. So in some of the ways this has manifested in our society in regards to being scared of the number 13, hotels often won't have a 13th floor within the U.S. Sometimes they won't even have like room 113 or 213 or 313, they'll skip it. We have the whole Friday the 13th movies. There's a lot of media around that. If you notice, Hollywood always releases horror movies, or at least seems to release one into theaters on Friday the 13th. So it just, there's a lot of fear around it. So some other examples from Christianity: Jesus was crucified on a Friday, Abel is slain by Cain on a Friday, Eve tempted Adam on a Friday. And so then, and something else that happened within Norse and Germanic tribes when they were being forced to convert to Christianity was that Freya was said to be banished to mountaintop because they could no longer worship her, right? So, and she was labeled as a witch. And it was believed that every Friday, the goddess, who she was now angry and vengeful and mad at the people for banishing her, she would convene with 11 other witches and the devil. So 13 of them would get together and they would basically just plot out revenge for the following week towards all of these people who had banished them to this mountain. So that also ties right into Freya and Friday the 13th and 13 people. I mean, the idea of any goddess hanging out with the devil is bizarre in and of itself, but they, within Christianity, they wanted to associate witchcraft with the devil, and they think witches would hang out with the devil, which is just so odd. That would never happen. But so for many centuries in Scandinavia, Friday was also said to be witches' Sabbath. So there's a lot of fear there around witchcraft and Fridays, And it's interesting because Freya had 2 black cats, which were given to her by Thor. And you know, there's this superstition of don't let a black cat cross your path on Friday the 13th. I mean, for witches and pagans, we love black cats, so we'd be excited to see a black cat on any day. And they tend to be good luck for us. If you want to know more about black cats, I did a whole video about them, my familiar video. So in regards to them and witchcraft. And in some pagan traditions, they considered that there were 13 stages of life, 12 that were on this planet, with the 13th being the afterlife. So there's also some correlation to 13 and death, but not in a bad way, more as a necessary transition. And so now we're going to do a little blessing spell to bring some good luck into our lives on Friday the 13th. It's a powerful day for us, so let's get started. Items for our spell. This is a little candle holder that is dedicated to Freya. This is a green candle. Green is associated with Freya as well as Friday and good luck and money, abundance. So as we light this candle, we receive any good luck, any abundance, any money that the universe would like to give to us. On top of that, we really honor Freya. We honor our whole witch, pagan, magical community. We honor the energy of the feminine, which is so powerful on this day between Freya and the number 13. It's no wonder that the Christian community, as well as a lot of people who are scared of the feminine energy, it's no wonder that they wanted to make this seem like a bad day, a negative day, an unlucky day. But we know that it is a really positive day, and we know that the feminine energies are really high on this day, so we want to honor that. And with lighting this candle, we honor the feminine, we honor Freya, we honor the number 13, we honor our whole magical community, and we are open to receiving any sort of good luck, money, abundance on this day. Okay, and we see that being grounded. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a wonderful Friday the 13th. Until next time, blessed be.